Hey guys, never stopped hunting here today, and I haven't done one of these in a while. We're going to be taking a look at my top 10 units in Dragon Ball Legends at the moment and my honorable mentions. Now, there has been a pretty drastic change thanks to the 4th anniversary and the latest LF Super Saiyan Future Trunks, and I've got to say, it's made the top 10 look pretty nice. So first I'll start off with the honorable mentions. Now, I've got to say the honorable mentions are units that could potentially be in the top 10, and I honestly think a few of you probably will say, nah, you're completely wrong, but not putting them in the top 10. They are in top 10, and I'd agree with you, they can. These were units I thought in some scenarios could swap with the number 9 spot or the number 10. Any of these if you really think about it, but I'm going to be taking a look at all the Ultras and LFs, all at 10 stars, like just based off that. So first one I'm going to start off with is Sword of Hope Trunks. Now, Sword of Hope Trunks, I do really like. He's really good. I feel like, especially at 10 stars, he's got the firepower, the tanking, all that sort of stuff to make him a pretty darn useful unit. He can do a ton of damage when that gorgeous field. He is absolutely fantastic, and he can still do that damage with his ult and everything. Like, endurance on top of everything is just key for him. I feel like his teams aren't too bad. Like, obviously, Future being what the most prominent team in the game is pretty good for him. Vegeta Clan, alright, is getting a few buffs with a few additional Zenkais and new units, but I feel like even without that, he's still in a very good position, and I feel like he could be in the top 10, but it's an honorable mention. Now, the next one, this one some people might be surprised with, but I feel like Tapion for me is the next honorable mention. He, of course, is the best support type in the game. He can still do fantastic strike damage. His main ability, giving that health to the team, he makes it so that if you switch out from him, the member you use will gain an extra card, so he pairs pretty nicely with a lot of units out there. His final counter is a threat, making it so that opponents don't really want to take him out with the androids when they're in as Android 18, and they don't want to take him out with a purple unit, which adds a little control on rising rushes and like maybe potential ultimates that the enemy will want to use. So I'd definitely say he's an honorable mention for sure. Next one is, if I can find him, this one some people could also be surprised with, because Golden Angel Frieza is my next one, and once again he's another really powerful unit, like ridiculously good. He's probably the best non-LF sparking, well, one of the 2 best sparking units for LOE, and he just does so much. The blast damage is insane, the anti-blast armor, so that against people like Ultra Goji or the new Trunks who have that blast armor and strikes and whatnot, he'll just do so much damage to him that it's not even a joke. And then of course there's the heals. He just does so much heals. The main ability giving him a whole hand, the cards just give him more health, the cover change neutrality, the type neutrality, the green card drawing a blue, the blue card going type neutral is very good for him. So I feel like he is very close to the top 10, but just quite not there at the moment. The next one, if I can find him, Zenkai, my days, I can't speak. Zenkai Margin Vegeta, he is very good in my opinion. As I said, he kind of clashes with Trunks for the main blue spot for Vegeta Clan, but he is very good. He does a ton of strike damage. His blue card, I feel like once you pop the main, draw that blue card when he's transformed, he is doing a colossal amount of damage. Like, on his best setup, I honestly think he has the potential to be better than Trunks, but you have to have it so that it's optimized and he's in his best position. But he is very good, a very nice addition to the Zenkai LFs we've gotten. He isn't quite as good as some we've had in the past, or some that could potentially be in the top 10 at the moment, but he is great in my opinion. I just love his ability to go and just reduce cover changes completely once it's transformed with the main ability, making it so that he can just pummel people with the strike damage, because the strike damage is the main aspect of him that is like fantastic. Like, you could just use that over and over, just deal damage. The green card, obviously being an area green card, adding to that ability to deliver combos after combos, doing a lot of damage, is very nice for him. And the final one for my honorable mentions for now is Revival Gohan. Due to what happened to movies during the anniversary, he moved up on the spot on the list quite a lot. Like at first I wouldn't even put him in the top 20 before the 4th anniversary, but then with the addition of Tapion and Dragon Fist Goku, his value was ridiculous. I feel like revival units still have quite a lot of power in just the fact that they can just manipulate rushes completely, because even if they rush, there's no such thing as a type neutral, well, revival in nullification unit. They just cancel it. You have the Beerus, where is he? I'm pretty sure, yeah, the blue Beerus, but he has it on blue. They don't just have it so that there's a unit out there that completely just can get rid of revivals just from doing like strikes and whatnot, which makes it so that they control rushes really well, which pairs up nicely with Tapion quite well. He has like a fantastic first main ability. His green card supports, his blue card supports, and he can do pretty nice damage. And then once he's transformed, the damage goes through the roof. He gets, I believe the green card is an area green card that just makes it very annoying to handle when he gets that off, because he can just pummel you with the strike damage because it pops up. Even the blast damage sometimes can be ridiculous. And of course, to top it all off, he's got a blue card that can nuke like a lot of units in the game, and especially once the main ability is popped with a full set of cards in your hand, you are dealing massive amount of damage with this dude. So that's all my honorable mentions for now. There's a few that were very close, like Super Saiyan 4 Goji. I think the Zenkai LF Frieza were close as well, and the Blue Boys, but those are the 3 that I'm not including because I feel like I'm not going to go past the top 15 best units in my opinion. Okay, so now we're moving to the top 10. In the 10th position spot, I am going to go, if I couldn't find him, actually no, not him, where is Perfect South? There he is. I think the value of purple units has kind of increased now that we have a very powerful green hybrid Saiyan in the game that's being used quite a lot. Like his value is pretty nice. Like I'm pretty sure this Sao does really well against hybrid Saiyans, and considering there are a lot of teams using hybrid Saiyans, especially a certain green hybrid Saiyan, he does a lot. I still think he's probably the best purple unit in the game. It does like a very, like you can say, out of him, this Gohan, the Blue Boys, Zenkai LF Frieza, but I honestly think he is the best. He just does too much. The damage is ridiculous. Once his gorgeous field, you're in a lot of trouble because he will be just doing so much damage, so much of everything really. He gets card draw speed and everything. Like it's fantastic. The green card make it so that he gets his vanish back, he gets his gorge somewhat filled and nice. His blue card just blitzes through your opponents, and of course the main ability with the ultimate is just the cherry on top, more damage, just destroying a lot of people out there. So I feel like his value has gone up. Like he's got some of the best tags in the game, like Powerful Opponent, Future. I guess those are the 2 real best ones he's got. Androids and Regen isn't really too good, but he has got a lot of tags that are good. The next one I'm going to say is Vegeta Blue. Vegeta Blue, I feel like Fusion Warriors is in a fantastic position thanks to the 4th anniversary, especially because the addition of his Zenkai was ridiculous, because he is very, very good now that he's Zenkai Awakened, because his strikes are just fantastic. Of course, he could get that like forever strikes just going and going and going over and over and over, just pummeling away at your opponents, and it's very noticeable damage. And once again, he's on Future alongside Fusion Warrior, 2 very powerful tags at the moment. So I've got to say it's ridiculous, because even him on Future, you have like a specific awakened equipment, the one with Future Gohan's picture on it, and it gives like base strike per Future. If you have it on him and you just give pure strike over and over, it is ridiculous. Like his strike damage is through the roof. Like his blue card locking in your opponent devastates red units. Like red units getting caught by that is ridiculous. His green card is a nuisance to get hit by, because it just ruins your momentum really, and it makes it so that he's just gonna tear into you more. And the ultimate, he's probably got top 5 ultimates in the game, maybe even pushing for top 3, because that just annihilates so many people. Like it is ridiculous if you could get that off on like a type neutral, very powerful unit, and especially type advantage. I think every red unit can get one shot by this dude's ultimate. Like, it's no joke whatsoever. So he is definitely my 9th position unit. Next, I am gonna say, honestly, I think it's this Zenkai LF Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He is still a crazy unit. Like, I think he was the LF who got Zenkai before Vegeta Blue, and you could tell like the damage is through the roof, especially the strike damage. The strike damage is nuts. You could just get card draw speed from the main ability. The ultimate locking in the opponents as well is nuts. The green card giving health, the green card giving you another card to just extend those combos, increasing the, I believe it's special move and ultimate move damage is increased. It might just be ultimate, but I believe it's both, and that just makes it so that it's even better for him when he does get that ultimate, because that ultimate just nukes most in the game. A few type disadvantage units will be annoying to get off. You most likely won't try to time it against the purple unit, but if you get it on a type neutral unit, even better a type advantage unit, you are destroying them. They're just not existing anymore, and there's nothing they can do about it because it locks the opponent in, and that's what makes it just so stupid, because it just locks. Ultimate locking is ridiculously powerful. Like, you could just abuse the meta with it. Next, I'm gonna say Revival Final Form Frieza, still absolutely ridiculous. I'd say you could tell the difference between him and the Golden Angel Frieza, because Golden Angel Frieza is more the damage leader, but this dude being a Revival just makes it so that he is in a very good position that can make it so that he controls rushes once again in Revival unit. His support he gives with the green card is great. His main ability is great. The damage he does is great, especially the blast damage. And once his first life is popped, he reduces your enemy's ki. He then has a green card that's similar to the green card he had pre-transformed, but of course now that he's transformed, the damage is nicer. The blue card does a lot, destroying like half your opponent's health each time because he goes type neutral. He then has a main ability that I believe destroys some Dragon Balls, and if you get that blue card off, I believe the blue card destroys some of your cards in your hand if you get hit by it. Like, a ridiculously powerful unit that is very good to have, like, in just in general, because if you need a blue unit that you want to like be controlling the amount of damage your opponent's dealing to you, making it so that they have to think about what they're gonna do next, you could just have him on the team at your leader slot and he'll do fantastically. And honestly, that's all I've got to say about him. Now the next one is the newest LF that got introduced into the game, if I can find him. Why am I struggling so much? Okay, it's because the pictures are zoomed in. I'm struggling to just notice them. But LF Future Super Saiyan Trunks, I think he's fantastic. I did say I'm looking at all these at 10 stars, and I still am, but I have him at 4 stars, and I think he's fantastic. Like, he just cuts away through everyone at the moment. So at 10 stars, I can just imagine him being bonkers. Like, the damage would be insane. Like, he gets type neutrality. His green card is ridiculous because it gives you that ultimate that just tears through anyone, especially if you're at type neutral. And the green card just on its own, without the, like, after the first use, gives you health and ki, which is fantastic. He has it so that he can get more cards. I believe if he uses like one, let's say he uses a strike, he'll draw another card after, then he uses another strike, he'll draw another card. So you kind of have a pretty crazy combo going, so it kind of makes up for that lack of card draw speed. And then he just keeps on going with the damage. His strike damage is fantastic. Blast damage is, you can tell, is noticeable. The blue card is very nice. Blast armor on his, I'm pretty sure his blue card and strike is very nice, because you could just make use of that in a way that your opponents are just like, damn, they can't do anything. Because let's say you time it so that it's exactly when you expect your opponent to use a blast, and you catch them with it, you tear through the blast, you tear through them, and they're done. So that's the 6th to 10th units. I think it's the number 6 spot is Super Saiyan Trunks, then it's the Revival Frieza, Zenkai Super Saiyan, LF Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, Zenkai LF Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, and then Perfect Cell. Now to move onto the top 5 units. Now, I'm pretty sure we can all guess who the top 5 are. They're the same top 5 that's come out ever since the 4th anniversary, and a lot of people can probably put these units all around in different positions, but for me personally, the next unit who's in 5th position is LF Dragon Fist Goku. Still absolutely ridiculous, man. Like, I actually so enjoy it. I feel like if Vegeta Blue get, like, let's say he got a unique platinum that made it so that he was similar to Dragon Fist Goku, like, he could be up there. Like, that's what I want Vegeta Blue to be, because this is just a dream unit right here. Card draw speed, cover change notification, strike damage, green card that gives another strike that powers up your damage, pummeling through your opponents is ridiculous. The gorge, once it's filled, the benefits are ridiculous. Like, the blue card gets amped up, so naturally the blue card will just be a blue card that does a lot of damage, but then it has that lock-in ability that is very useful. Lock-in blue cards, lock-in ultimates, lock-in anything are ridiculous in the game. So to have it on a blue, you catch the blue units off guard, they're done, game over, they're dead, because this dude just goes in. He just goes in. And then of course you have the main ability. Without the gorge being filled, it's still pretty good because you draw the ultimate that does a lot of damage, but with the gorge filled, the ultimate, first the main ability makes it so that you restore your vanish. You then reduce your enemy's vanish to 0, make it so that they will just, you can get a free combo on them. So let's say you catch them sidestepping, you use the main ability, they can't do anything, you use the ultimate, done. He probably has the most powerful ultimate in the game. Like, no shot, he is ridiculous. Like, I think I've seen people that are have type advantage over him. Does he go type neutral? I don't think he goes type neutral. I haven't actually used him in a while, but if he does go type neutral, then I don't know what I'm talking about with this purple unit. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't go type neutral, and he still does a lot of damage to purple units. But you know, I'm actually gonna, so he doesn't go type neutral, so against purple units I've seen a lot of damage be dealt with is ridiculous, and he definitely is worthy of being a top 5 unit. Next, I'm gonna go with Mui Goku. Mui Goku is very, very good. Like, if you are skilled with him, not like the passive players who just sit at the back, drifting to the side. If you make it so that you are utilizing the gorge to its best ability, make it so that your, let's say you vanished, you don't have your vanish at the moment and you have your gorge filled, that's how you use it. You want to make it so that you get your vanish back by the time that gorge is like reach back to 0, so you can get combos, and while you're doing those combos your gorge fills again, so that when you vanish again you can then do the same thing again, and it makes it so that he could just stay on the field for a very long time. So that's just his ability to stay on the field. I'm talking about utilizing the gorge properly. And now if you talk about the gorge, it counters. The amount of damage the counter does is very nice, because if it's not up against, even against blue units, it does a lot of damage, but even if it's type neutral and type advantage, they're taking a lot of damage. Like, it's ridiculous, like through the roof damage. And you gotta think, like, he hasn't used a strike or blast or even a blue or ultimate and it's done damage. Then we have the strike damage through the roof, blast damage very noticeable. Blue card is ridiculous because it does a ton of damage, and then it reduces your battle members sub count so they can come in faster. The green card fills the gorge, draws an extra strike card, fantastic. Then the main ability, oh my days, they made this main ability ridiculous. He just reduces cover changes to 0, so he could just attack and attack and attack and attack. With the card draw speed is ridiculous, and then he has the ultimate. The ultimate just destroys so many units. It's just a theme. The ultimates are ridiculous, man. Like, I guess that's what ultimates do, but this dude's ultimate, my days. Especially even the LF scene is fantastic in my opinion. So I gotta hand it to him. Mui Goku is ridiculous. On this list, probably the second best LF in the game in my opinion. Next, now the top 3 are very, very debatable, because there can be people who say, oh, this unit's at the top or this other unit's at the top. But in my opinion, the 3rd unit is, if I can find it, man, why can't I ever find it like instantaneously? There he is, Ultra Gogeta. Ultra Gogeta My days, it's been 7 months since he's released and he's still a top 3 unit in the game. Just goes to show how ridiculous he is. If a lot of these units after 7 months have an AIDS as well as he is, I might just say he is the best unit that's ever released so far in the game, because he is ridiculous. The damage just from everything is ridiculous. Of course, his melee based unit, so his strike damage is ridiculous. Blast damage is very good. His blue card does a lot of damage, and it's so annoying for your opponents if he landed, because it reduces their hand. All their cards in the hand are gone. They can't do anything. They have to wait for more cards, and it just sucks. His gorge fills every time he does stuff, and then once his gorge is filled, he gets a blue card, which I just explained about, and it is very annoying to get it off because it gives you enough ki to be able to combo into that. And this guy has card draw speed, so that makes it so that he can carry on comboing because he's got that extra ki from the gorge filling, and just keeps on going and going and going, and then bang, you're hit with a blue card, no cards, and then the same thing is gonna happen. His green card gives him ki, goes cover chain nullification, and could just carry on comboing as much as he wants. He doesn't have to worry about that. And then there's his ultimate. Now for the main ability, he gets the ultimate, gets enough ki to use it. I'm pretty sure he gets health as well, just why not. And then it just destroys anyone it hits because it's a very, very powerful ultimate. And then let's talk about if he was last man standing. If he's last man standing, he'll go, no, even if one of your battle members has been defeated, I believe 2 times that he comes in, he goes type neutral. So now he could just destroy everyone in the game, and that just makes him ridiculous. Now, of course, last man standing, he gets the second ultimate, which he was the first unit to ever get this. This is why I like Trunks a lot as well, because he has 2 ultimates. 2 ultimates are ridiculous, especially if they're as powerful as his. Because let's say you have a battle member that's been lost. Let's say he's last man standing, you haven't used the main ability at all. Then you've got an ultimate in your hand, you're type neutral, you do type neutral ultimate damage, kill that unit. You then pop the main ability, you caught them tackling, that's the main ability ultimate, hitting them type neutral, done. That's 2 units gone instantaneously. It is ridiculous what this dude is capable of, and he's definitely, I still think for like a very long time he will be a top 5 unit in the game. So that's Ultra Goji for you. Now onto the second spot. Now these, a lot of people will say, oh nah, it has to be this LF or at the top, or this Ultra, but in my opinion it's the androids in second place at the moment, because they've got a few counters like to them. The Trunks is a pretty good counter to them. He has the anti-tag counter, so he makes it so that if you come across them, he's pretty much a big counter to them, which is why he's so far up, because they are in like 9 out of 10 matches you play against, because of how ridiculously broken they are. Like, I honestly think the difference between this LF, if we take a look at LFs only, the difference between him and him, there is a pretty big gap. Yeah, like, it's such a noticeable power creep from this dude, because he came before the 4th anniversary, and there were people who didn't summon for them, thinking I'm gonna wait for the 4th anniversary, I'm gonna save up for them. And fair enough, that's a very, very smart thing to do. I would even recommend doing that. If you don't want to summon for them, don't summon for them. But because of how ridiculously powerful they turned out to be, those people that didn't summon missed out on some of the best LF in the game. Like, the ability to just do so much damage, strike damage is through the roof, blast damage is through the roof. They get cards like the first time Android 17 and Android 18 they have like entered the battle, they can, even from like switching out with your battle members or just tagging out themselves, they make it so that after their first card they've used, they draw another card, so they are doing quite a long combo. The damage is very powerful. They can hurt blue units, they could hurt yellow units, and those 2 units are 2 of the best typings in the game. Like, if you don't know where I'm going with this, you can kind of tell, but they do a lot. Like, that's just damage wise. The tags are fantastic because it gives them card draw speed. I think Android 17 makes it so that when he's using cards, he gets more health. Android 18 makes it so that when when she's using cards, she's gaining Vanish. The green card, so Android 17's green card is probably the worst one to get hit by, because it makes it so that he's just going crazy with it. Cover changes nullification is a big part with their greens, because they've got that just on their green card. They will have it so that they can do that every single time, and it makes it so that they can come off wherever. Getting hit by that sucks because you pretty much just lose the game. The first green from Android 18 makes it so that she reduces your opponent's vanish to 0, and you just absolutely have a free combo with them. So let's say you reduce the green, use a green card, you reduce their vanish to 0, they just sidestep, you got a free combo going. You can keep on going because it's cover change nullification. And then the blue card, my days, do they have probably the strongest blue card in the game. Like, I've seen type neutral units get one shot by it. Like, it's no joke, man. They really made these two just insane, absolutely broken. And then on top of all of that, they nullify endurance, so no one's safe. The only units that are safe are revival units, and as I said, with the amount of damage they're doing, revival units don't even stand that much of a chance, because thinking of this Gohan as the best revival unit with Frieza as it, they can't handle them at all, so they still just get absolutely blissed, especially one of the best revival units being a blue unit. So Android 18 will just absolutely destroy him. So honestly, no one is safe from them. They are just too good, and they are probably going to be the best LF in the game for a very long time, unless they keep on introducing anti-tag abilities like Trunks and this Gohan here have it. So in the future we might see more of that, and they might just move down depending on the units that come out. So that's the Android for you. Definitely the best LF in the game at the moment. Now onto the number 1 spot. I think we all know who it is. Ultra Super Vegeta. Probably the most insane unit in the game at the moment. Like, he does so much. The damage is insane. He gets card draw speed. He gets blast damage. That's insane. He is a defensive unit, so he tanks like a champ. He has a blue card that restores his hand. Like, let's say you have no cards in your hand, you use the blue card. Now you have a lot of cards in your hand. His green card is stupid if he land it. Like, he goes type neutral, he draws a blast, he then can combo into it. He isn't like, what is it? He doesn't have cover change notification at the moment, but guess what? He has a counter where if you counter a tap blast or a blast attack with a strike, you now go and have type neutrality, and that is ridiculous because you've now damaged them, which it's a lot of damage, and you got cover change nullification, and you could just go crazy with it. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous with what he's capable of doing. And then of course there's the main ability that restores his vanish, makes it so that he gets the ultimate, and I think this ultimate is probably a top 3 ultimate in the game because it just destroys anything, especially if you've gone type neutral, especially if you've made it so that you got the counter off, don't have to worry about no cover changes or anything like that. I don't even think cover changes can do anything about him because he's just ridiculous. The way you just utilize all of that is ridiculous. He cover changes, like, that's one thing as well. I completely forgot. Okay, let me go through these again. He cover changes, I believe it strikes, the androids cover change blast, the Ultra Gogeta cover changes strike, UI Goku cover changes like any attack, strike or blast twice, Dragon Fist Goku cover changes strike, this Trunks cover changes blast. Like, you can tell there's a trend with the top units having cover changes, so this dude having a cover change on strike is pretty good because a lot of the top boys in the game, they are melee based units. I believe 9 out of the my top 10 are strike based units, so having strike based cover changes are pretty good. But he's got all of that, and to top it off, he's got endurance, so that if you don't have endurance notification or you don't get caught by an ultimate, he's still in the game if you take his life to 0 at the beginning, so that he can tank those rushes and everything. And he's just fantastic. Honestly, the top dog for a very long time in my opinion. Like, these two are very close in terms of like power. I feel like you can even go like this. Like it would make sense. If you said this, I wouldn't mind at all, but I feel like at the moment for me it's Ultra Vegeta, and honestly this kind of suits. I was kind of thinking these two could maybe swap over just a bit, because the introduction of this Trunks kind of hurts this fuse a bit. I think I'm more comfortable saying it like this. I do think Trunks is better than the Zenkai LF Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta at the moment. He's got the boost, of course, and honestly I feel like without the boost he will have just a slight bit of power more than him, but it's not very noticeable. It's there, but I feel like this is a pretty good top 10. My honorable mentions, as I said, Blue Boys, Ultra Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken, Goku. I'm kind of surprised I didn't include him in there. I might have just pushed him as the 16th option, but I feel like it's just his teams more than anything that suck. Goji, he could have made it into the honorable mentions. I feel like he was the closest next, but I'm not gonna go over it anymore. This is my top 10. These are my potential top 10 units, probably my 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, not in order. And other than that, guys, that's all. Let me see if you agree with my top 10. Whether you like think, oh, actually Ultra Goji is a bit lower down, MUI is third, MUI is second. Like, you can have your own opinions. I wouldn't mind at all. You could even have some of the honorable mentions I've said, or some units I haven't said in the top 10, and I wouldn't disagree there. As long as you have like a valid reason for why they are there above like the other units, then I'll agree. But if you're just saying it because you like that unit, like, you could make a tier list for your most liked units, but these are the tier list for the best units in the game, the ones that you feel most comfortable using. You feel like if you're in a 1v3, yeah, you could do it with this unit, you could come back completely. So this is my top 10. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. Obviously, more in the future, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.